Hi friends, strangers, internet. My name is EmilyHanhan. I love colorful makeup and colorful language, and I've done this intro a couple of times now. Thus the giggles. If you are new here, welcome, or welcome back to my channel. I was inspired yet again by a creator that I quite enjoy watching on this platform, Hannah Louise Poston. So this was actually a culmination of inspirations because Hannah just posted this video recreating a look from an older Chanel ad. I will link that in the description box, the video. I'm also going to apply lip balm because dry lips are my nemesis. So I was watching the video yesterday and, Hannah's videos inspire me often, but I also I have this makeup memory, this nugget of a memory, not even a nugget. It's a big part of my makeup memory. And I just felt like, why not smash together these two things? I was just recently talking about this makeup memory. I was just reminiscing, looking at ad photos, all of that. And if you see the title of this video, you might know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm talking about the brand Hard Candy. So I am going to kind of recreate this look that I found. There's not a lot of advertising imagery from Hard Candy from the 90s on the internet, but I found this one and I thought, I think I can do, I don't know, we're gonna try to do it justice. And as we go, I'll probably talk about like why this brand lives so deep and core into my makeup memories. But I'm gonna get started with the makeup and we'll talk about makeup memories as we go. If you like colorful makeup, if you like bitches with lots of opinions, or you just like cute fat babes, I hope you will subscribe. Let's get into this. I'm gonna do my base first, and I hope, we'll see, maybe not. No, that still looks good. Okay, I have a little sample of the Dior Backstage Face and Body foundation that I've been using a lot, or not using a lot, but I've been working my way through it. And I have moisturized earlier this morning, so I'm not going to do any primer. The skin is pretty matte for the 90s. I will be adding a highlighter because I cannot resist, but we're not going to do any glowy primer or anything like that because it's not really the mood. I'm also just going to haphazardly shove this back in that awkward 90s way because the bangs are living their best life today. Yeah, that's very awkward 90s happening right there. So I was a 90s kid. Well, I was born in the 80s. I was born in 84. So I was a kid in the 80s and in the 90s. I definitely started reading magazines like preteen, pretty young, maybe even like elementary school. And I, had an interest in makeup at least by middle school, but I think before then. But, I was an artistic kid, like playing in color, all of that stuff. So that doesn't surprise me so much. So anyway, I started reading the YMs, the teen magazine, the 17, I don't know, all of those. A point of my childhood that does come into this conversation is that I have been fat since birth, basically. The earliest pictures I ever saw of myself, I was a fat kid. So that is a part of the factor. So anyway, I would read these teen magazines. I would, I was into boy bands. I was into pop stars, the Britney, the Christina, the Mandy Moore, really all of them. I was a and still am I like all kinds of music. Like when you have brothers that listen to Nirvana and Foo Fighters and Jay-Z and Nas and I don't know, the whole mix of things, and you know, listen to pop music too. Like that has stayed with me, and that makes me very happy. But anyway, so I would, and like, you know, you had advertising all through those magazines, but the advertising that just stayed with me was this brand called Hard Candy. Hard Candy was started in 1990. I was reading about it a little bit. Like I've read about it before, but I was refreshing my memory last night. They were started in 1990. It started as a nail polish brand, and it literally started as the owner was like mixing nail polishes in her house, and then really like hit it big when Alicia Silverstone wore a sky blue nail polish on, maybe it was Letterman, maybe it was Leno, I can't remember now. You know, got asked about it, and that really, like, the brand had been selling in Fred Siegel, which, you know, is a step forward. That's a shop in LA. So I think the owners were based in LA. So anyway, I don't know how old I was when I first saw the advertisements, or when I first started, you know, seeing magazines write about the brands, because it wasn't just the ads, but like the ads are iconic. They still live in my brain, you know, 2.5 decades later. Do I love the way my skin is looking right now? No. Is it because I don't understand the concept of light powdering? Maybe. Okay. So anyway, so the thing with Hard Candy, so I think the reason also I wanted to talk about this brand is because, you know, there's a lot of nostalgia about Urban Decay, and I totally feel that. Urban Decay, like in the 90s, early 2000s, was very alternative. Like I was also looking at images of, you know, from that brand, and like they were alternative. But for me, Hard Candy was my first introduction. And if you don't know, Hard Candy still exists. It's a brand that's sold, I think, exclusively in Walmart. It has fallen far from its grace, in my opinion. And I think that's also why I can move on from brands. Because it's been in my core. Like, I think it was 2009 when they relaunched back in Walmart. And I was just like, excuse me, I'm going to go scream. Like, and yes, I am wearing highlighter, even though that's not a very 90s thing. But I couldn't resist, so I just put on some, like, something as close to just, like, glowy skin that's not a cream product. I'm also literally listening to Alanis Morissette and Gwen Stefani, or No Doubt, as I'm speaking. I'm going to do just really light try to do really light brows, just brush a little bit of brow gel through this. The ad had, you know, the model has blonde brows, which I have never figured out how to do, and I've tried the concealer technique at different points in the last couple of years, so I'm just bare minimum, basically, just brushing them up. And if I use a light hand with this brow gel, it, in my opinion, does little to nothing, and I think that's all I really want to do. Yeah, those brows are not my favorite, but I'm trying to not pay attention to them. Kind of the way I feel like the 90s, it was either don't pay attention to your brows or tweeze them really thin. But this ad doesn't have thin brows. So, I feel like from the close-up image, she has like a soft blush, and it feels like it's just kind of right at the center point of the face. Let me, I had the photo right here and I was not checking it. Yeah, I feel like she has like a soft flush, mostly on the apples of the cheeks. I think I'm just going to use the orange blush that's in this palette. This very like neon looking blush gives me this like beautiful color. It's like sherbet on my cheeks or something. So I think that's going to be the best. I don't know. That's what I want to do. The lip color that I'm going with is also like a little bit more orangey red than the initial ad. So I feel like I can go a little bit more warm with the cheeks. I just love this blush. Like, I know this is not a soft look for a lot of people, but this is a very soft blush look for me, and I don't know how this color would work on a lot of people with deeper skin tone than me though, but for me, it just, yeah, you can see how it can be just like a little bit punchier. Anyway, I think just that apple of the cheek, like soft blush fits. It's very weird. I really like the Pat McGrath concealer, but I feel like today it like repelled from everything except for my under eyes. Like that's the under eyes, the bags are where I need the coverage. What I know that more concealer's not going to have the skin looking great, but I can't resist. And that's the Rare Beauty concealer. I feel like that helped. That helped. So the eye look in this ad, I feel like is going to weigh heavily on this LA Girl Shockwave liner and Fresh. I also pulled out like specific singles that I want to play with. There's something about the depth on the eye that I'm sure was done with matte shadows, but it reminds me of the way like a purpley brown shadow, like when you buff it out. I don't know, there's something about it that reminded me of that, so I'm definitely taking it in my own direction with that. And then I think Reserve number 6, which I know I just used in a look recently, is going to give me the sparkle, but I also may use a little bit of Snowdrift from Clionadh, which is one of their round pan shadows. And it almost, I don't own Tulle from Glam Shop or any of those like strong like lavender blue shifting shadows, but it reminds me of that. Kids are screaming in my building. It's Saturday. I feel like this happens every Saturday I film, but I need to film. It's just I keep hearing. Okay. So anyway, and then I think I want to lean on Reserve 6 for sparkle and maybe a little bit of, I think this is Twilight, which you probably can't even see. But anyway, I pulled a little quartet, a little quad of shadows that I think I'm going to use. But I'm going to start with liner first, which is not my normal thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it to just the very, like I'm very tempted to wing out the liner, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna try to keep it to kind of follow the picture, and then as we go, if I want to, I might. I also have a dark turquoise mascara, which is not gonna be the same, but it's the best I can do. I also tried to do the water activated liner lashes this morning as a test, and for me it didn't work at all. So I was like, you know what? We're just gonna make it our own. Anyway, so yeah, okay. So hard candy. Let me actually talk more about like my makeup memories. So, you know, oh no. Okay. That's weird. I just got the tiniest speck of water activated liner and like in my eyeball. I just had to scoot it off my face. That was odd. But so, you know, I have been reading magazines, following all that kind of stuff, and getting into makeup. And, you know, by like middle school, it was definitely okay for me to like have nail polish and paint my nails. And I think I was, you know, dabbling in like Bonnie Bell lip glosses and things like that. And sometimes pilfering makeup from family, like cousins that got to have it earlier, or or other opportunities, because maybe I was a little klepto as a kid. Okay, I said that on. It's fine. Anyway, but mostly it was just like very simple makeup stuff. But I was seeing these ads, and they are so edgy and like very like bratty edgy too, because it's like, or you know, eating the makeup because it's hard candy, all of these things. And aesthetically they were just so cool, and just like they felt much edgier than any of the ads I was seeing otherwise, like from, you know, CoverGirl or Jane, because that was a makeup brand back then before they came back, and then I think they're gone now again. But yeah, and I was not an edgy kid. I was and still am a nerd. And my parents were not into me being edgy, and they had a very big say in the clothes I was wearing and the makeup, and because I mean I was spending their money, so they were like, yeah, you're not doing that. And I was a fat kid in the 90s, so I was shopping in department store, the old, you know, the women's, which is really like the old women's section, or Added Dimensions, which was like pre-Catherine's, pre-Lane Bryant. So anyway, stylistically, I had no chance to be edgy anyway. None. Which is kind of exactly why makeup called out to me from such a young age, I think. Is because fuck Patrick Starr, because he's not the first one to say this, but like makeup has no size. Ooh, if I just coat my lashes, they kind of do the same thing. That works. So yeah, I definitely was seeing the ads, and then I think, I don't remember if it was, so we didn't have Macy's in the town that I lived in at first. The department stores that I grew up with, like from a young age, were Belk and Dillard's. And I think it was in one of those stores where I saw a little hard candy counter in the beauty section. Because, you know, I would get dragged along shopping, or for myself or others with my mom. And I was like, wait, is that what? So the thing with hard candy, I started saying this, but they started with nail polishes, and the whole thing, and this, I didn't know this until I was reading up on it last night. So originally, like when the brand first started, it sounds like she was selling out of like Essie bottles because she was using like Essie white polish and like other colors to make these like pastels and all of that. So, but when they started hitting like department stores, they were just like, I didn't know Essie at that point in time. So anyway, they were in these, you know, square bottles with, I think, the white caps. But the whole thing is that each nail polish had a gummy ring that kind of matched the color of the polish on the bottle. And that was just the coolest thing ever. And like, could you buy those nail polish or those rings at like a party, you know, a dollar store, a party supply store? Well, now as an adult, I realize you could, but like as a preteen teen, I was just like, I want, and you know, there's also like a level of you know, what am I trying to say? It's like it's a status symbol because people started knowing this brand. So, you know, you having a jelly ring could be you just have a jelly ring, or it could be you're also wearing a hard candy nail polish. So yeah, this is what I'm saying. These kind of colors, for me, give this like depth on my eyes that I really like. Cool. So there was a point in time. Ooh, I like that even more. I'm just layering the Clionadh Snowdrift all over, actually. It's like making it a little bit more icy. So I wanted one. And like I said, I was able to buy, like I had some basic makeup and nail polish was okay. But like, I'm a preteen teenager asking for a nail polish that's being sold at a department store. Like, no way. That's way too expensive. But I think after some poking and prodding and begging and pleading and all of that, at one point in time, like, I definitely got a hard candy nail polish. And the thing is also, like, the advertising wasn't just edgy, but then they had names like Trailer Park, or I think they had one that was like aluminum foil, or like Dirty Boy, or no, maybe Dirty Baby is. So the owners of Hard Candy went on to create Smith & Colt. And I think Smith & Colt has a polish called Dirty Baby. But I cannot find like that many names online, but they had some like very trashy names. And as an adult, when I use the word trashy, like I use it in an affectionate way. The kind of space I was raised in didn't use trashy in an affectionate way. Trashy was quite the like ultimate insult in a lot of ways. Like that's the last thing we want you to be, or the last thing you will be. Which is probably what made me want that aesthetic so much more. I'm definitely deviating from the picture, but I'm just kind of playing. But yeah, so that definitely, like, you know, being the like introverted black sheep that I was as a kid, who was seeing, you know, these judgments on the phrase trashy and on the kind of people that got called trashy, and I was thinking like, fuck y'all. Like, some of those people look cool as fuck, or are nice as hell, or whatever. Like, so anyway, so that was part of it. It wasn't just like the advertising was edgy. It wasn't just whatever. It was this whole thing. That's why when people are like, oh, like Urban Decay had stuff called Roach. And I'm like, yeah, so did other brands. Like, I mean, again, Urban Decay is a major trendsetter, and I'm not shitting on them. I was just like, you know, Hard Candy grabbed me first. Anyway, this is fun. Is this the exact look? No, but I'm totally cool with that. So I think at one point in time I got a hard candy nail polish. I got the allowance or whatever for one. But I think one of the reasons why this brand lives so deeply in like core memories is probably because it's also a core trauma in a lot of ways. Because this whole time I was like, oh my God, give me the ring. I want the nail polish and I want the ring and I want to wear the ring. I was a fat kid. So that ring did not fit me. Not even fucking close. Not even close. So like, I was so excited. I was so into it. I was like, oh, I'm going to have an accessory and nail polish. I'm going to be so cool. I finally have something that like I can be a part of. No, I couldn't. It might have fit as a pinky ring, but as a fat person, pinky rings. No, you want rings. You don't want pinky rings. You want rings. So I'm pretty sure that ring just lived on the nail polish bottle its whole life. But I still had an affection, I think, for the brand. Like I said, at that point, I wasn't really like, and they weren't at a price point where I was going to be buying makeup from them. But really bold lips. They were hard candy invented glitter liner. Where would Euphoria be today without hard candy? Tell me that. It's just so funny to like really start digging into these like memories and the way these brands kind of like hold on to me. Yeah, it's really funny actually. I'm going to try to just put on some mascara on my top lashes. I mean, like, I like this like weird lash thing, but I wouldn't mind just like a little more dimension. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, I like that. So the top lashes are like 2 tones of turquoise, whereas this one just has the pencil on it. It adds a little dimension and a little bit of depth. But it's really funny to think about how much the advertising like stuck with me. The like smashing of the lipstick, the really bold like red and fuchsia lips, the like glittery eyeliner, or the these like lashes the same color as the liner. Even the taupey kind of cool like minimal grungy look of the ad. I'll have it on the screen with like the hard candy in the mouth kind of thing. And I mean, obviously these models are beautiful, and you know, they seem like they were thin, blonde, you know, all of the like very societally approved kind of aspects, but they were just edgy and just cool enough and colorful enough that I was really into it, because I'm not like a grungy, smoky kind of person. Like, I've grown to really enjoy those looks, but they're not, what I I mean, what I tend to, you know, go towards are looks like this. Shiny and shimmery and colorful and pastel and all of that. So, I don't know, it just really, like, tickles me that it's such a strong memory for me. I needed a little bit more brow than what I had. I also want inner corner because of course I want inner corner sparkle. And one of the first eyeshadowy things that I would do was really intense inner corners. And here's another makeup memory. So I have always been quite pale, and I remember this. Some of my earliest makeup hunts were inner corner highlights that were actually lighter than my skin. And this is not me going, woe is me, whatever. It's just really funny to be like, wow. Because I remember, was it MAC Nylon? I think it was Nylon. Was their shimmery, like, cream inner corner. I'm going to go grab my freckle product because I think something that will help this very matte skin look more and feel more me is adding some freckles. Adding like purposeful imperfections onto your face when it feels a little too full coverage, and purposeful meaning things like freckles. It's smart. That feels more like cool girl. I don't know. I like the freckles. Anyway, I was talking about how, like, I used to be on this hunt for inner corner highlights that are actually brighter than my skin. And it's definitely one reason why I love the really sparkly inner corners these days. But something else that I used to do, because I think I've always genetically had dark under eyes, is that I would bring, like, I would have a huge inner corner, like it was almost like a tear trough inner corner. And sometimes these days I still do that, and it's usually by accident because I get a little too heavy-handed. But then it slightly gives me nostalgic feels towards young Emily, and then I'm like, okay, it's not so bad. I've been making that choice/mistake for decades now. It's just really funny to think about as, like, I almost did that, and then I was like, you know what, let me just do my little kind of concentrated inner corner. And yes, I did wing the liner out a little bit, modernized it just a teeny tiny bit. Okay, so yeah, hard candy, I think really, like, I don't know how many times I've said this so far, so I apologize if it's been a lot, but I don't think I really end up buying other makeup from them besides the nail polish. But I definitely feel like as a whole aesthetic thing, they were very inspiring. Hair gets to go back to its messy self. Now, these lips. So I mentioned earlier how I decided to use this more warmer orangey blush because I love the formula of this BECCA Lip Love lipstick, but it's definitely a little more orange, I feel like, than the ad, but it has that amazing darker edge. I think I'm gonna try to like mix these two and then go in with the lipstick. I think I'm gonna put this one down first because it just feels a little creamier. And I think the darker one will blend into it. Have the outline-ish kind of down. This is not my comfort zone in any way, shape, or form. I don't know if that made it better or worse. Let's put on the lipstick and see what happens. Okay. So I think we're gonna stop there. I went in. This was an eyeliner. I sanitized it beforehand, but it was a little bit obnoxious. But I put on the lipstick and like I used this angled brush just to keep smudging it, and then I went back in just now with the red, and I feel like it finessed it just a little bit more. And yes, I made the top lip bigger, but you know, that was actually not purposeful, but I had to make it look good. But now I feel like it's a little closer to the lip because I was feeling like the outline was feeling a little bit harsh, although I will say in the 90s there was maybe never too harsh of a lip line. But anyway, I feel good about this now. And I think we're done. So, like, I was looking at the picture again, and I was like, yeah, I definitely got away from I ventured away a little bit. But, like, I have this, like, bluey turquoise eye. I have the turquoise liner, turquoise lashes. I have, like, a pretty soft face. Yes, I have some glow, but it's not too strong. I have some blush, but it's, not too strong. Apples of the cheek, very 90s kind of placement. Red lip with the darker lip line. Like, I think I did it the justice I wanted to do it. It feels fun. The eye look feels like something I would honestly do, like, without this inspiration. I probably would have changed some things, but I feel, I don't know, it's fun. It's fun. This was a fun, Hannah has great video ideas, but I really liked going back to Hard Candy, because I do feel like it's a brand that's kind of in the blueprint for me, in my makeup blueprint. Hard Candy is maybe the first foundation. I don't know. It's deep within my soul. I still have a big adoration for all of the aesthetics, the colors, the saturation, and just the attitude. And I just wanted to dip back into that and see what came of it. And if y'all have any other advertising imagery from the brand, or you know what, even from other brands that have this aesthetic to it. Like, I would totally love to play in this if y'all like this idea. I just feel like it's another fun way to play with my makeup, to do looks that I wouldn't totally like. The turquoise and red lip, I really like. I love those colors together, but I don't always think to pair them. And what do y'all think about the darker lip line? I mean, I love an ombre lip, so I'm feeling it. Oh yeah, actually, hold on. You know what? Let me just share another awkward makeup memory. I feel like I don't have like a lot of them. Or I don't know. My memory from college even is kind of shit. But so every time I see the dark lip line, I know that it comes from I really just saw the cat walk by and I was about to go, kitty! I mean, I guess I just did go, kitty! Anyway, so darker lip line, like with the lip color, is, to my knowledge, something that existed because of Black women. Because a lot of nude lipsticks are not matching their skin tone. I think all of my, like, elementary, middle, and high school, yeah, all three of the schools that I went to were, I think the majority of the population was Black kids. And so a lot of my friends were Black kids. And anyway, I'm like, I need to tell you all these things. I do need to tell you all these things because it was trending at the time to do the dark lip and just like lip gloss thing. But also it was especially trending in a lot of my friend groups. And I still remember in middle school grabbing a brown eyeliner in one of my thieving moments and putting it on and putting lip balm on top. On me. Paper white uncooked chicken. I did that look. And that is probably why even to this day I'm still like, yeah, I don't care if that comes back as a trend. I still feel awkward about it. Do I feel awkward about everything? Yeah, probably. But like, that was me in middle school. That was my version of changing your outfit when you got to school. My version was taking the eyeliner with me, and when I would get to school, I would do my little lined lip balm situation with no other makeup on my face. Now that I have shared that dark shame with the entire of the internet, I think it's time to go. But I hope y'all enjoyed this. Let me know if you did. Feel free to share some of your makeup memories in the comments, whether they are related to Hard Candy. Do you know the brand? Do you love the brand the way I love the brand? Or any other brand or anything else. A look, a moment, whatever it is. And thank you so much for spending a bit of your day with me. And don't forget to take care of yourself better today than you did yesterday, because you are worth it. Bye, friends. Mwah. No, that's not. That was the Hannah photo. It was very like, this is very like, I'm not. We're going to pass that. No, but literally, I'm listening to Torn right now.
I thought I saw a man brought to life.